students, good morning to all. I am Ganeshan, postgraduate teacher in biology. Today we will study about anatomy of flowering plants. What is anatomy? Anatomy is a Greek word which is derived from two Greek words, namely ana and tome. Ana means as under, tome means to cut. Anatomy is a branch of biology which deals with the study of internal structure. If you study the internal structure of plant, then it is called as plant anatomy. If you study about internal structure of animals, then it is called as animal anatomy. If you study about anatomy of human beings, then it is called as human anatomy. Nehemiah Kuru is called as the father of plant anatomy. Andrew Vesalius is called as the father of human anatomy. By taking thin section about the plant parts, we can study about the internal structure of plants. By taking transverse section or cross section, by seeing the microscope, we can study about the tissues which are found in the plants. What are the kinds of tissues which are found in the plants? So, anatomy is also included histology. What is histology? Studying about tissue is called as histology. In NEET, from the chapters of anatomy, minimum 4 questions may be asked. We will discuss about what are the major concepts which are found in the plant anatomy chapter. Before studying plant anatomy, we should know about what is tissue. The tissue is defined as the group of cells which are having common origin or common structure or performing similar functions. As we all know that cell is the functional and structural unit of all living organisms. According to cell theory, which is proposed by Sladen and Schwann, cell is the structural and functional unit of all living organisms. Group of cells form tissues. So, tissue is nothing but group of cells which are having common origin or common structure or performing common function. In tissues, there are two major categories are there. Tissues are broadly classified into two major categories. The first one is the meristematic tissue. Second one is the permanent tissue. What is meristematic tissues? Meristem means actively dividing. Meristematic tissues are group of cells which are in continuous state of division. The cells which are continuously dividing and they are forming new cells. According to Virchow, the eminent cytologist, he proposed that all the new cells are formed from the pre-existing cells. He quoted the sentence that e cellula omni cellula. It means all the new cells are formed from the pre-existing cells. The formation of new cells is by the meristematic cells. The meristematic tissues are the group of cells which are having continuous state of division. Then permanent tissue. The meristematic tissues temporarily or permanently stops its state of division into permanent tissues. The permanent tissues lose their dividing capacity temporarily or permanently. This process is called as differentiation. So, the meristematic tissues undergoes differentiation to form permanent tissues to perform a particular function. So, now we will see the concept one by one. The meristematic tissues are classified into different categories on the basis of their position, on the basis of their origin on the basis of their function and on the basis of their plane of division. On the basis of their position, the meristematic tissues are classified into apical meristem, then intercalary meristem, then lateral meristem. What is apical meristem? The name itself denotes that the meristem which are found in the apices of the plant body. There are two apices in plant body. One is root apex, the other one is shoot apex. The meristematic tissue which are found in shoot apex is called as shoot apical meristem. The meristematic tissue which are found in the root apex is called as root apical meristem. So, this is the apical meristem which is found in the tip of the shoot. These tissues actively undergo cell division and produces new cells. This apical meristem is responsible for the vertical growth of the plant. The length of the plant is decided by the apical meristem. As we all know that plants are having indeterminate growth. Plants are having indeterminate growth. This indeterminate growth is achieved only by this apical meristem. The shoot and root are undergo vertical growth, which is indefinite growth. That indefinite growth is achieved by the apical meristem. So, the need questions may ask which meristem is responsible or which tissue is responsible for the vertical growth of the plant. Apical meristem is responsible for the vertical growth of the plant. Then the next meristem based on the position is intercalary meristem. Intercalary meristem are the meristem which are found in between two permanent tissues. This intercalary meristem is predominantly present in monocot plant. Monocot plant like grasses, cereals. In all the monocot bamboo, the intercalary meristem is predominant. This is one of the most important concept. Intercalary meristem is found in dash, may be asked, or in monocots, which meristem is predominantly found? Which meristem is responsible for the internodal growth? Like that the question may be asked. The answer is intercalary meristem is responsible for the internodal elongation. Mostly it is found in grasses. Why it is called as intercalary meristem? The name itself denotes that this meristem is found in between two permanent tissues. This is apical meristem. In that portion, permanent tissue is there. This also permanent tissue is there. In between the two permanent tissues, the meristem which is found, that meristem is called as intercalary meristem. The intercalary meristem mostly found in the nodal region. This is node, this is internode. This is node, this portion is internodal region. The nodal region, in the nodal region, intercalary meristem is present, which forms new cells. It undergo active cell division and produces new cells, which are responsible for the internodal elongation. Then the next meristem is lateral meristem. Lateral meristem are the meristem which are found in the lateral side of the plant. Lateral side means this meristem undergoes continuous division and produces new cells, which is responsible for the diameter of the stem or diameter of the root, which increases circumference of the plant. So, lateral meristem is very important meristem which is responsible for the circumference of the plant. It undergoes secondary growth. Which meristem is responsible for secondary growth? Lateral meristem is responsible for secondary growth. What are the examples of lateral meristem? Lateral meristem example is vascular cambium, interfascicular cambium, cork cambium or phyllogen are the examples of lateral meristem. The lateral meristems undergo secondary growth. In plants in dicot plant there are two types of growth are there. One is the primary growth, the other one is the secondary growth. Primary growth is by the apical meristem and intercalary meristem. Secondary growth is by the lateral meristem. So, based on the position, there are three types of meristem. One is apical meristem, the other one is intercalary meristem, lateral meristem. What are the examples of apical meristem? The apical meristem, there are three types of apical meristems are there. One is protoderm, the other one is procambium, the third one is ground meristem. But based on the function, the apical meristem is classified into protoderm. The protoderm gives rise to epidermal portion. Procambium gives rise to primary xylem and primary phloem, which are the vascular tissues responsible for the conduction of water and food materials. The third meristem is ground meristem, ground tissue, cortex, except epidermis and vascular stele, the other tissues are called as ground tissues. Ground tissues includes cortex. Based on origin, there are two types of meristem are there. One is primary meristem, the other one is secondary meristem. The name itself indicates that the meristem which is formed earlier are called as primary meristem. The meristem which is formed later is called as secondary meristem. In this secondary meristem, the lateral meristems are classified. Lateral meristems are classified under secondary meristem because the intervascular cambium, core cambium are all responsible for the secondary growth of the plant. Secondary growth are mostly found in dicot stem. In monocot stem, we may not see the secondary growth. So, in monocot stem, intercalary meristem is a major meristem which is responsible for the internodal elongation. Then based on the plane of division, the meristems are classified into mass meristem, rib meristem, plate meristem. Mass meristem means the cells which divide in all planes. The cells which are divided in all planes are called as mass meristem. Example, embryo. The embryo of the seed which undergoes division in all planes. So, it is coming under mass meristem. Then rib meristem. Rib meristem, the plane of division is in one side. If the plane of division is in one side, then it is called as rib meristem, epidermal tissue system or dermatogen. Then plate meristem, the plane of division in both sides, then it is called as plate meristem. So, based on the plane of division, the meristematic tissues are classified into mass meristem, rib meristem, plate meristem. The examples are very much important. They may ask questions based on the examples. For each and every meristem, you should know about the example and you should thorough well about the concept. Then only you can answer the questions without any difficulties. So, meristematic tissues. What are meristematic tissues? Meristematic tissues are the group of tissues which are in continuous state of division. The meristematic tissues are differentiated into permanent tissues. What is differentiation? Differentiation is a process in which the divided cells will undergo some changes to perform the functions to become permanent tissue. The divided cells temporarily or permanently, it may lose its state of division to form permanent tissues.